What's up, guys? It's Wacka. Today we're going to be talking about the new Mega abilities, which I planned on doing like 4 days ago when we found out everything's abilities. Actually, more like almost a week ago. However, I just really didn't have the time to get to it, so I guess now will be a good time to talk about them. And yes, there's a lot of other people online talking about these abilities and talking about their applications. However, a lot of it is for like VGC or for like singles OU. I don't know if there's really much on it for draft content, so I figured I'd hop on the train for the draft content because my opinions are a little bit different than those on people that were talking about it in singles or like OU. So let's get started. So we do know all of the Gen 1 abilities, which is cool. We got Magic Bounce on Clefable, which I think it's an alright ability for it. Um, as a flying type that can't hold boots, being able to bounce back rocks will be good. Although it's weak to a lot of common rockers like rock and steel types. I guess you have the advantage against ground types. And you can kind of scare off the steel types with like Fire Blast or Flamethrower coverage off its 135 special attack. Its other stats are pretty good, but I think overall, I think Togekiss is just a better Pokemon than Mega Clefable, but I think what puts Mega Clef over something like Togekiss is that you can still use it as regular Clefable. Um, and you can even like you can run like Magic Guard Clef if there's a bunch of hazards up. Um, so that way you can come in on hazards and then Mega Evolve if you have to. But I think in like a Nat Deck setting, you kind of want your flying type to have like a defog, so you might have to double up on flying. So, but that's not the biggest deal in the world because a lot of people like using like, uh, I mean this mon does get defog, but like Thundy gets defog, Lando gets defog. You don't really run it on those guys. Enam doesn't get defog, but I think you're probably better off drafting like Togekiss, Enamorus, maybe even Enamorus Therian as like a Calm Mind sweeper. But Clef isn't awful. Its stats are decent and like well rounded, I think. Next up, we got Victory Bell. Victory Bell got Innards Out, which is a weird ability. So basically, once it gets KO'd, it does however much HP it had left before dying and will apply that damage to the attacker. So if it had 1 HP left before dying, the attacker will take the 1 HP that they did. If Victory Bell is at full health, with its base 80 HP, all of those hit points will be dealt to the attacker, which I think for Victory Bell is decent. Base 80 HP isn't bad. It's a lot better than a lot of the other megas actually, and if you're investing in HP, then you're doing a lot of damage to it. It's kind of like how like Final Gambit Annihilate works and like VGC, where like its HP pool is so high that Final Gambit just kind of kills something. Victory Bell, I think, will be kind of the same way if you can get an Oko on it, but it'll be pretty hard to kill with like Strength Sap, and its bulk isn't that bad. 80, 85, 95 isn't really that bad. I think it's better than like Venusaur, for example. Um, and you get Strength Sap, so you can constantly stay healthy against like physical attackers, and then just kind of Strength Sap them. You get tankier on the physical side over and over again, and base 95 special defense isn't that bad. Um, and it has pretty good mixed offenses too, which I think is good for draft format. But I think overall, like Victory Bell is very outclassed by like pretty much every other like grass and poison type, especially like grass and poison type megas. Oh, I'm getting some messages. Oh, they're gonna have to wait. Anyways, how much can you guys see? Okay, so you can see basically everything I see currently. Next up, we got Starmie, which we all knew it was going to get huge power or pure power. It doesn't really matter which one you get because they're the same ability. Um, and they lowered its attack from 140 to 100. So Mega Starmie is basically like we've expected it to be like this since October when Legends of EA came out. That was like 6 months ago, like on the day. That's crazy. But yeah, we definitely expected huge power on Mega Starmie. I believe it lost Triple Axle, and I think after looking at the Mega abilities, I'll be looking at the learn set changes. Um, that way we can see like what stuck from ZA and what didn't stick, because there's some things that like some Pokemon still gain access to some tools. Like Mega Starmie, well, just Starmie in general, still kept like bulk up. You still get Aqua Jet and Liquidation and Zen. Well, I think I already had Zen Head, and Self Destruct, but it didn't keep Triple Axle. So it'll be interesting to see what Starmie can do, because basically, as a physical attacker, like you're only using stabs, which I think is okay, because I think Water Psychic is really good offensively. Especially if you're hitting with huge power attacks. Um, like basically, there's not a lot that can switch in on you like very safely. And for some of the things that do, you can easily just flip turn on them. Um, so that would be cool. It's very bulky, with 105 defenses, which is nice. 60 HP isn't that good, but it's also not. It's not that bad. Um, we used to consider regular Starmies like a bulky water with the base 60 and 85 defenses. And now it's just a bit tankier, and especially with like bulk up now, it's going to be a lot harder to kill like on the physical side. So that'll be good for it. I think Mega Starmie is probably one of the best megas introduced in Champions so far. We won't be talking about the ones that haven't been introduced yet, like Mega Dragalge, because we don't know its ability. But I will make predictions on their abilities based on like these. Um, but yeah, Mega Starmie I think will sit at like 19. It'll sit between like 18 and 20 points in most drafts to start. I'm gonna maybe assume it doesn't get banned based on like its lack of physical coverage, but we'll see. And I guess just to mention it, I think Mega Clef will be around like 11 points. I honestly I don't really see much point using it over like regular Clef or like other fairy flying types or just other fairy types. Like this stat spread is just so similar to Togekiss. Victory Bell will probably be like 4 points. Innards Out isn't like the worst ability. I don't know why people are thinking it's like that bad, but I really don't think it's that bad. Um, Next up, we got Mega Dragonite that kept multi-scale, which I don't think is awful. I think people are hoping it would get something like No Guard, but um, multi-scale's fine. I think the problem with it in a draft or like singles in general is like Stealth Rocks. Once you come in on Stealth Rock, you just kind of lose your multi-scale. Um, in general, like I think it also like inner focus doesn't really work well with multi-scale, because inner focus in like VGC is like, oh, you can kind of covert cloak yourself against fake out. But then you still lose HP, and then you also lose your multi-scale because you're not at full HP. But I think with Mega Dragonite, it might work really well on screens, because you can get up screens. Its bulk is really good with 91 HP, 115 defense, 125 special defense. And then you can just kind of click moves and then roost back up to full to activate multi-scale again. You can Dragon Dance again, because basically Mega Dragonite is better than regular Dragonite with Dragon Dance, because um, Adamant Mega Dragonite outspeeds Jolly regular, and Adamant off its 124 attack stat is stronger than 134 Jolly. So it's basically a little bit better than regular Dragonite, with more bulk, and it has the option to run special, but I think you're probably going to run special. I think if you're going to draft Mega Dragonite, though, you're probably going to want it on like a rain team, because that way you can spam like Hurricane, and it gets Weather Ball and stuff too, which is very cool, and Thunder, which is nice. So it has a lot of options for rain, but I based on how it performed in the ZA tour last season, I don't really think it's too worth it without like rain support or chance. Mega Meganium got a really good ability, Mega Soul, which basically means that Sun is up for every move it clicks. So Weather Ball will always be a fire type 100 base power move, and it'll also be boosted by Sun. So technically it's like 150 base power. Um, and what I'm saying, I guess, is like in the Sun, if Meganium had Flamethrower, Weather Ball would still be a better click than Flamethrower in the Sun. Yeah, I guess if that makes sense. And then your Synthesis will heal like 66%. It's pretty tanky. 80 HP isn't that bad. It has 150 in both defenses. Still 80 speed, which is good enough where you can underspeed things if you want to, and heal up, or you can outspeed like other walls and kind of break through a bunch of things. It still gets Swords Dance, so even though its 92 attack isn't that good, you could probably get away with it, especially because Solar Blade is now an option. It doesn't have to just run like Leaf Blade. Solar Blade is a lot stronger, so it might actually, in draft format, I think it'll throw people off for sure. It did not get access to growth, which I think people are really hoping it would, but it did not. Um, however, though, I think Meganium is gonna be it's definitely one of the biggest victims of like new toy syndrome because it has a new ability. It's very cool. They really did the best they could with Meganium. Like I guess they could have not added into attack and they could have just put like the 5 in defenses, but um, I think Meganium is like very optimized compared to its original form and like the original idea behind Meganium. So I think that's very cool. I think the problem with that though is Grass Fairy isn't really the best typing. Um, there's a lot of mons that just like straight up get poison coverage for it, and although it's tanky, like it's very susceptible to like dying. So I think you want to pair Meganium with a pretty good steel type, I think. Gator is alright. Dragonize is basically Pixelate for dragon moves. So its double edges are going to be very strong. In Nat decks, you can run Return, you can run Body Slam, so that'll be good if in case you don't want to like get recoil damage that much. Its speed tier is still not that great, and after a Dragon Dance, like a lot of Pokemon are still outspeeding you, or just straight up like Scarfs are outspeeding you. Um, Dragonize doesn't really help it in the Fairy type matchup because you're just kind of losing. Technically, you're losing coverage against Fairy types, I suppose, but um, does this thing get like Poison Jab or like Iron Head? It might be one of those mons that gets like Iron Tail, but not Iron Head. So you're kind of just stuck with your stabs and then like Earthquake in matchups where you need Earthquake. I really don't think not Meganium. I don't think Gator is that good. Um, I'd say Meganium is going to start at like 12, 13 points, and then it'll probably end up going down over time. But I think Gator, like compared to like Mega Gyarados, I really don't think it's like much better than Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados, I think, is like tankier, and it's faster, and I think Water Dark is a bit better than Water Dragon offensively. Water Dragon is a good defensive typing though. You're only weak to Fairy and Dragon, I believe. Next up, we have Mega Skarmory, which took in Stalwart. So basically, not much has changed for it in terms of like people testing it pre champions with like Kenai. At least Kenai does something in singles. Stalwart does nothing for it in singles, and even the VGC players are saying that it doesn't really do much for it in VGC or doubles either. So that kind of sucks for it, but it still has good stats. 65 HP paired with 110 defense, 100 special defense is still decently tanky. 110 speed is pretty good, and you can still run like the weak armor into Swords Dance and basically have +2/+2 and 140 attack. And it still has Brave Bird. But considering its design, I think people are kind of flabbergasted that it should have gotten like Tough Claws probably, but um, Skarmory as a whole is still a decent mon. I think it'll be around like 14 points. I think Gator will probably end up around like 10. Um, but I think after a while, once like new toy syndrome wears off, like these guys are gonna go a lot lower probably. Skarmory maybe not so much. It might stay around like the 12 to 15 range, but we'll see. Froslass is one of the new toys that I think really works because it got Snow Warning, which I think we were expecting it to. But considering some of the other abilities are very, very bad, and you'll see these like I thought it was kind of funny. Other than I think Victory Bell is like the exclusion here, but like Clef got a good ability, Starmie got a good ability, Dragonite didn't change, Meganium and Feraligatr got good abilities, Skarmory's ability is bad. Froslass got a really good ability, and then after Froslass, like it really falls off. Like there's not a lot of good abilities after Froslass, so enjoy Froslass while it is. Snow Warning is probably the best thing you could give it, which is what they gave it in ZAOU. So we've already gotten the chance to use Mega Froslass with Snow Warning. It's pretty good. It kept Nasty Plot, which is very nice for it. 120 speed is very good. There's a lot of things I think in the 115 range that like still outsped it, and now like Gengar now has to run Scarfed Outspeed, or Zora Kazooie has to run Scarfed Outspeed this now. And it might even live because 100 special defense is pretty good. 70 HP isn't that bad, and then with the Snow boost, your 70 defense is a lot better than 105 because it's a 50%. Is it 50%? Fuck it. Hold on. Is Snow 50% boost to defense? Okay, it is 50%. I wasn't sure if it was 50 or 30, but it's basically this is a lot better than 105 in Snow because it's increasing its like actual stat rather than like the base stat, and the base stat is like they're a lot more clumped together than the actual stats. So like this is probably more like 120 defense if I had to guess. But it's pretty good, and you can run Blizzard off its 140 special attack. This thing will get drafted. It might be expensive at first because I think people were like really fucking with stuff like Alolan Ninetales for a while. And then it kind of fell off like quite a bit in the middle and towards the end of Gen 9. But I think Froslass, like, it has a lot more going for it than Ninetales did, and it still gets Veil, which is very cool. Mega Emboar is one of those ones I was looking at, and I really didn't know how to tier it because Mold Breaker isn't that good of an ability, but its stats are very good. 110 HP pairs very nice with the 110 special defense. 75 speed isn't the worst, and it gets Flame Charge and Trailblaze to boost its speed, I believe, if it needs to. And you get Bulk Up, so you can boost your defense stat, which is the only bad stat it really has is its defense. But its defense paired with its HP still makes it a pretty tanky mon. Like, you're not killing this guy. You're simply just not killing Emboar. But I think after a Bulk Up, it's going to get very strong, and it gets stuff like Drain Punch, which is nice, and like Flare Blitz. And I think for the draft format, having special coverage is nice off its 110 special attack. It gets stuff like Scald too, in case you want to punish something like a Palafin switching in on you, trying to eat a hit, and then hit you on the physical side. So I think Emboar isn't that bad. I think SPS had it at 5 points, and I think I even had it like pretty low, but for some reason, I'm feeling a little bit gassed up on Emboar right now. I might have to do some testing with it, but it really isn't that bad. I'd argue to say like maybe it should be a lot higher than 5 points, like maybe 7 or 8. But there's other Pokemon coming up that I will compare Emboar to, and I think we'll get more of like a taste of like how they should be tiered, like if they're even good or not. So we'll see. Mega Excadrill got Piercing Drill, which is basically Unseen Fist, but It only has um, it only does 1/4 of the damage behind behind Protect, so it's very nerfed, but it's not bad for like VGC, and to be honest, it's not that bad against things that are trying to like wish tech stall you, like a Vaporeon could try to. I don't think Vaporeon can really wish tech stall Mega Drill. They just kind of have to go for Scald Burn. Um, Drill didn't get any special defense, which I think is fine, because its defense got increased a lot. Like now, Excadrill's living like earthquakes, which is nice. 103 speed is very good because it outspeeds stuff like Garchomp, and like Mega Glim, Nihiligo, or I think it speed ties Nihiligo. But 103 is a pretty unique speed tier for it, and I think it's good. 165 attack is also pretty good, and it gets decent moves with the Iron Head Earthquake. It got Mega Horn, I believe, now too, so that's pretty cool. I have not seen a single Mega Excadrill in like Champions or in like Champions OU yet, so we haven't really seen that yet. I'm gonna skip past Scolipede, Scrafty. So basically everything got an ability up into Excadrill. That's pretty cool. Then we got a couple that didn't get in. I was kind of surprised that Scrafty wasn't in base game. But I guess I will talk about these three. I'm gonna make a guess. Scolipede's gonna get battle armor. Scrafty's going to get shed skin. I think it's gonna keep shed skin. And I think Eel was leaked to get an ability called like Dark Current or something, but the leak also said that Mega Glim was gonna get Levitate, which didn't happen, so I am gonna assume that Eel's gonna keep Levitate. They gave Chandelure Infiltrator, which I think is fine. We weren't really expecting Chandelure to get like a good ability. I think people were expecting it to get Shadow Tag, but I think for the draft format, like we were better off getting Infiltrator, which I think is good. It's good versus screen spam, especially into like the Aurora Veil teams with like Frostlass. Because someone will draft Frostlass for sure, so that'll already give Chandelure like a decent matchup. Although Frostlass, I mean, it kind of beats Chandelure, but being able to hit things behind screens is like basically what I'm talking about. And behind substitutes, and I think sub is becoming like a better and better move. I'm realizing I personally have been enjoying running like substitute on a lot of things, so being able to punish that would be very good. Its defense has increased pretty well. Its speed is okay. It actually performed very well in the ZA tour that we did. So I don't have like the highest hopes for Chandelure, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll probably be between like 8 and 10 points. Did I say how many points I thought Drill I think is gonna be like 15. Next up we got Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja. So Chestnut kept bulletproof. I think I don't really have much to say about it because people already think it's like a pretty good mega, and it's pretty min-max for what it is. Like they decrease its speed just to increase its defense by 50, and its defense was already good. And its attack stat is good now too, and I wasn't even expecting its special defense to increase by that much, but it did. So you have yourself a very, very tanky Pokemon on our hands. Grass fighting typing isn't the worst, but I think for draft format it's fine. Bulletproof does stop things like Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball and Focus Blast, as well as I think it stops Aura Sphere too, and it stops Pyro Ball. So Cinderace has to run like different moves to hit Chestnut, which is very cool. Grass fighting typing keeps it behind, but it's one of those megas that I think it will get drafted. I think it's gonna start at like 13. Mega Delphox got Levitate. I think we were expecting it to get Levitate. And with its stats, it's very good. Thank God it can't just use fucking Expanding Force, because Levitating Mons can't. I mean, they can use Expanding Force, but they can never have like a boosted Expanding Force, so you never have to worry about seeing this thing on like Psy Spam, which is nice. Its stats are very good. 75 HP, even the 72 defense isn't that bad. Special bulk is a lot better. I've seen it eat a bunch of special hits and then like kill things. It outspeeds a lot. I think it's gonna start at like 19, but I do think new toy syndrome will wear off for it at some point, and it'll probably end up falling down the tiers. But I don't see it being any lower than like 17. Um, if it even gets there, its tools are just too good. It has good coverage. Mega Gren got protein. I think Gren will be like 20. I think it'll be the max points, like 19 or 20. Um, when I used Mega Gren current in the last season with Torrent, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but it was just a good like glue piece for me. Its speed tier was very good. Its special attack stats pretty good. Its attack stats pretty good. Now you can run like Gunk Shot and hit things with 125 attack. Um, and 125 attack without investment, I don't think is like that bad either. So that'll be pretty good. High Roar. Also, Gren did not keep Nasty Plot or Psyshock, which kind of sucks. But I don't think I ran either of those moves when I used it, so it might not be that big of a deal. Pyroar. I'm gonna guess Drought on Pyroar because these stats are just not that good, and I think they'll want to do something with it. We'll see. It's gonna be one of those mons where like I'm gonna pray it gets a good ability. I'm not expecting anything to get a good ability here. And you'll see later. Next up we got Floette, which got Fairy Aura. Now Mega Floette is tearing it up in Champions right now. It is fucking insane. Moonblast just destroys everything. Even like Light of Ruin just kind of kills everything. There's very little things that can switch in on Floette. I think the one thing is like Galarian Slowking. That's the only thing that's gonna switch in on Floette. I mean, Floette does need to have some counters. Basically, the way you're gonna counter Floette is outspeed it and pray that you can like kill it before it kills you. Because the physical defense isn't that good. 74 HP and 87 defense isn't that bad though, to be honest. Like you could easily make this a Fizz tank. It's a lot better than Florges, that's for sure. And it's 148 special defense is still like, it's basically just as good as Florges. And it's faster and it hits a lot harder with Fairy Aura, so for that I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't think it has Defog. I don't think it gets Defog, unfortunately. If it did, I think it would get a lot more play. I think it'll end up being around like 14 points, though. I originally had it at like, it was like a 5-point Mega without Fairy Aura, but I think with Fairy Aura, I'm like, holy shit, this thing just hits so hard. And its stats really aren't that bad. Like, I don't really know what the problem with Float that I saw, but I think it's pretty good. Malamar is probably going to keep Contrary, because these stats are just so terrible, but people are hoping it'll get, like, a Trick Room ability, but that I don't think that's going to happen. Like, that just can't happen, unfortunately. Mega Barb. I think Mega Barb is going to keep Tough Claws, personally. Okay, I just got a message. I had to check it. So I'm gonna guess Tough Claws. Dragalge. I want Dragalge to get regen, but I'm gonna, based on like the shitty abilities a lot of the other Gen 6 Megas got, it's probably gonna keep fucking Poison Point. Maybe we'll get, if we're like on the bad side of lucky, it'll keep adaptability. I think adaptability might be best case scenario. I personally just want regen, because I think regen will make Dragalge like a lot more usable in the long term, but we'll see. Hawlucha got no guard, which isn't a bad thing. It's also not a good thing for it, because now like stuff like Triple Axel like always kill it. Its speed stat is the same, so you're still gonna lose to stuff like Weavile. Even more. Now Weavile doesn't have to be scared to click Triple Axel because it's just gonna hit. But Lucha I think is fine. I used it in the ZA team tour, and it had Limber. And to be honest, I think Lucha was a pretty good Mega. But having no guard means that like moves aren't gonna miss you anymore. But you can run Stone Edge, and I think the best part about having no guard on Lucha is being able to kill Moltres and Zapdos without thinking about it. So you can just SD and kill them because they're not gonna outspeed you unless they're Scarf. And I think a Scarf Zapdos and a Scarf Moltres like aren't good Pokemon. And if they get knocked off, then they're slower than you. Zygarde is probably gonna keep like, or it's. I think Zygarde is gonna have like you have to run Power Construct, but then it's gonna change back to like Aura Break when it Mega Evolves probably. We're not actually almost done because there's some of the DLC Megas got in. So next up we have Drampa, which kept Berserk. I think Drampa's alright. I kind of think it's overrated, and this is one of those ones, like, I kind of don't know how to tier it. Kind of like Emboar. Like, Emboar could be pretty high or it could be pretty low within, like, the lower tiers. Drampa, people are thinking is going to be, like, a 9-point mon, but I don't really think it is. I think Drampa is very overrated. 78 base HP isn't terrible, but I also don't think it's that good. And I feel like its stats are just not as good as people think it is, and I think Normal Dragon really isn't as good as people want it to be either. But I think it'll start at like 7 or 8 points in SDS probably. It might get picked up. People are kind of upset it didn't get Drizzle, but I say boohoo. I don't really care if it got Drizzle or not. These guys, I would be surprised if we found out their abilities like anytime soon. I'm gonna assume Volt Absorb, Flash Fire, and Dark Aura. Reason why I think Dark Aura and Dark Eye is because I think it's gonna coincide with Floette. That's literally just about it. The Raichus, I'm very surprised didn't get into the base game. I think Raichu X. I think it's gonna have that ability where when it uses Volt Tackle, it'll get a +1 attack boost. So we'll see. And then Raichu Y, people, I think it was leaked that it might get like Electric Terrain, but I don't really believe that. I actually don't know about Raichu Y. It might, I don't know, maybe it could get Electric Terrain, it could get like Transistor, I don't know. Transistor would be pretty broken on it, but I think maybe they'd want a Raichu for him to be broken, who knows. Mega Chimecho kept Levitate. I was a little bit gassed up on Chime at first, but after realizing that it's just kind of a slightly better Bronzong, like I kind of just stopped caring that much about it. It does have Recover and like Stored Power, Cosmic Power, but I think some of its sets are going to be pretty telegraphed at that point. And its stats are good, but there's just better Megas going around that you can use. So I don't really see it, but perchance it'll be like okay. Next up we got Absol Z, which I think is gonna get Sharpness because they made Shadow Claw a Sharpness move in ZA. And same with Chomp Z. I'll skip Staraptor for a second. I think Chomp Z will also get Sharpness because Dragon Claw is a Sharpness move as well. Unless they're like hinting that a Pokemon in Gen 10 will be like a Ghost Dragon type with Sharpness or something, but I think potentially like they make sense with Sharpness. Staraptor, I hope gets to keep like in Tim, or they'll give it like Puff Claws or something like that. I think that would be very cool on Staraptor. Who is next? Lucario Z, I think will get Mega Launcher. Just based on the trailer, like they paired both the Mega Lucarios with Clawter and Dragalge. So we have Dragalge's adaptability, and at this point, like we could get Clawter's what's it called? Mega Launcher. Golurk got Unseen Fist, which is very good for it in VGC. Mega Golurk is performing really well in Champions VGC. This is one of those mons that I didn't know how to tier because, much like Embor, it has good stats all around. It's just kind of slow. It's weak to like common typings like water and grass. And Unseen Fist doesn't really help it too much in regular, but it was really good in VGC, but it doesn't really help it much in regular. They did give it access to Headlong Rush, which is nice, so now its best stab move isn't destroyed by like grassy terrain, which is nice. You could probably pair this thing with like Mega, not Mega. You can probably pair this thing with like Rillaboom as a ground type now, which is very cool. I don't really much. I don't have much else to say about it. Meowstic is one of those ones I think is gonna be good in draft. People were saying like, "Oh, Trace is such a stupid ability to give it," but I think Meowstic Trace is fine. It's basically like a Diet Mega Alakazam, but it has more coverage, it has more options, and it has more bulk. Um, but it stats aren't like bad, but they're not great. But I think Mega Meowstic will see some use because a lot of abilities are good, and like tracing good abilities is probably a good thing. So for that reason, like I really don't think Meowstic is that bad. I think it'll be like 9 points, maybe a little bit less. Like it might go down to like seven at the lowest, maybe 8. Um, I think its stats are pretty similar to like Mega Sceptile. Mega Sceptile is faster, but Meowstic like no, it's not very similar to Mega Sceptile. There's a reason why I mentioned Sceptile, but I kind of lost it. And by the way, I think Golurk will end up being like, I think it'll end up being like 7 points, maybe 8. Rock Polish Mega Golurk could be good, but Golurk also performed well in the ZA thing that we did. Crab kept Iron Fist, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but I think out of its 3 original abilities, Iron Fist is its best ability. And now you can run like Hyper Cutter, so you can't get like Intim dropped before you Mega Evolve, which is nice. Its stats are just really good. 97 HP, 122 defense, 107 special defense is just very tanky. It's gonna live at like every hit. 157 attack is very good, and it works really well in Trick Room, which Trick Room is okay in draft as like a side mode. But I think at that point, like Crab is like your secondary mega, which is something I have to consider in the rules, by the way, if I want to allow people to draft 2 megas. We'll see. Um, it's gonna be like 4 points though, maybe 5. One of the worst megas, but I really don't think it's that bad. It's one of the ones like I would use this. I would use Mega Crab. And Iron Fist Ice Hammer is very good. Is it Ice Hammer that it gets? Yeah, I believe so. Golisopod will probably keep like emergency exit low key, but the leak said that it might get Tough Claws, and the leaks weren't completely wrong about everything. They guessed a lot of abilities correctly, but I'm hoping that Tough Claws is like one of them. Magearna is definitely going to keep Soul Heart, and it's going to get banned, so it doesn't really matter. So next up we got Spicy Spray Skull Villain. Spicy Spray is like almost best case scenario for this mod with its stats the way they are. It's probably gonna be one of those mons that like weirdly runs like bulky sets because at this point like you're just using Scovillain as like a pivot into other megas, or not into other megas, into other Pokemon, and being able to burn everything that hits it. Doesn't matter if it's like a Moonblast, like a Flabebe using Moonblast is gonna get burned by Scovillain, which is like it's kind of cool. I guess it's kind of a buff for like special attackers when you're facing this thing because now your special attacker is burned, and most special attackers don't really care if they're burned. So I guess we'll see. I would probably place Scovillain at like 4 points. I think it's the novelty will end up wearing off at some point, but low key I think it'll get drafted by there's a few people out there that I think would be nutty enough to draft Scovillain. I know that I personally have thought about Scovillain quite a bit, and people are making pretty good content about Scovillain out there, and it's not that bad apparently. Glim got adaptability, which I think is all right on it, to be honest. Having 101 speed, 150 special attack is pretty good. A lot of adaptability mons don't reach that 100 threshold, so it's gonna be able to outspeed things. Rock is a good offensive typing with like Power Gem. Maybe Power Gem like isn't like the best move for Glim. But it has good poison moves like Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, so um, that'll work out for it. But um, yeah, I think Glim is a potential mon. It's gonna start like high. I personally think Mega Glim is like 10 points max, but a lot of people are tending to overrate it at like 14, which I don't really understand. So there's that. Tatsu is probably going to keep Commander, and I think Bax is going to keep Thermal Exchange. So let's look into the, not the learn set, the Pokemon changes. So, Venusaur got Sludge Wave, so that's one Mon that can now beat Chestnut because Sludge Wave is not bulletproof resisted. Blastoise got Iron Head. Sure. I think there's like one scenario where I've ever wanted to use like Iron Head Blastoise, and I kind of forgot what the context was, to be honest. Beedrill got Cross Poison, Skitter, Smack Dual Wing Beat. Yeah, there's nothing there that it cares about. Beedrill wants like Gunk Shot, and it just didn't get it. Pidgeot didn't get anything interesting. The Raichu's got Dazzling Gleam, which is whatever, because I think they already had a Luring Voice. So that's whatever. Regular Raichu got Drain Punch, I guess. Is keeping these other moves. I think for Natdex, basically, if you're a Natdex player, like the yellows don't really matter because these mons have always had those moves. In Natdex. Clef is keeping Air Slash from ZA. Arcanine Hisui is getting Burn Up and Iron Tail. Machamp is getting Drain Punch. So that's decent for Machamp. I don't think it has Mach Punch because it had Mach Punch in like Legends Arceus, but I don't think it kept Mach Punch. It also doesn't have Vacuum Wave anymore. Oh yeah, Machamp wasn't in SV or anything, so of course like all of its moves are gone. Victory Bell got Toxic Spikes, which I think we were hoping it would get. Galarian Slowbro got Toxic Spikes, so basically it has what Slowking has had since Gen 9. It still doesn't have the pivot move, but you know. Wait, Shell Sidearm got deleted? What? Wait, there's no fucking way Shell Sidearm got no fucking way. No way it got deleted. I don't think it did. Wait, am I stupid? Mine's cheat. Yeah. No, this is fucking wrong. Some of this is wrong. Shell Sidearm is still there. I was confused because I definitely have a Galarian Slowking with Shell Sidearm. Starmie, yeah, so it kept Ancient Power, got Aqua Jet, Bulk Up, Charge Beam, Ice Spinner, Liquidation, Safeguard, Self-Destruct, and Zen Headbutt. So, yeah, Liquidation, Bulk Up, Aqua Jet, Zen Headbutt, Ice Spinner, all very good moves for it to get and keep. Even for, like, regular Starmie, I think something like Aqua Jet isn't that bad for it, and Charge Beam might be useful in some scenarios. Pinsir got Aerial Ace, Hard Press, and Lunge. I'm pretty sure it lost Double Edge, so fuck Pinsir in Champions, I guess. I don't know why they get rid of Double Edge on it, of all things. The Tauros forms got Iron Tail, Mega Horn, not really that big of a deal. Gyarados got Dragon Rush. Dragonite got Whirlwind. And then, yeah, there's Meganium with Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Leaf Blade, Pollen Puff. Pretty good moves for it. Mega Meganium will always benefit more from Solar Blade than Leaf Blade, probably, so there's that. Unless you're trying to crit stuff, I suppose. Mystical Fire's cool for Typhlosion. I think did it already have Mystical Fire? I don't think it did. First impression, Psychic Fangs on Ariados. Ooh, Ampharos got Parabolic Charge. That'll be interesting. And Rising Voltage. I think that's good for Ampharos. It might actually be good for like Mega Ampharos. But there's like 96 megas, and I just don't think Ampharos is like the one that you're gonna want to pick up. But those are good moves for it to get. Parabolic Charge especially. Houndoom got Scorching Sands, so like Mega Houndoom Scorching Sands will be decent, maybe. It's like a 70 base power coverage move, like it really isn't that good. Sableye got Night Slash. Medicham is keeping Agility and Blaze. Oh wait, it didn't have Agility before, it had Trailblaze, so now it just gets Agility. That's pretty cool. Manectric got Supercell Slam and Trailblaze. I don't think that matters for it because I think it has Agility and it already had Flame Charge, and I think Flame Charge is usually better than Trailblaze, so... Camerupt got Burning Jealousy, that's like whatever. Banette Zen Headbutt. I could have sworn that Banette already had Zen Headbutt. Chime is keeping Flash Cannon and Boom Burst. So that's good for it. Also, yeah, it has Meteor Beam. That's pretty cool for it. Absol is getting Phantom Force, Shadow Sneak, and Trailblaze. I think Trailblaze for like regular Absol might be okay. Usually Trailblaze just isn't a good move, in my opinion. Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, this mon can SD Trailblaze or bulk up Trailblaze now, and like, it's never a good set, but I think for like, I think maybe for Mega Absol, like, you could make an excuse for running Trailblaze at some point. Notably though, it did not get Poltergeist, which means Mega Absol Z will not get Poltergeist. Thank God. It's gonna be stuck with Shadow Claw. Unless you really want to run like Phantom Force, I guess. Rosary got Trailblaze, that sucks. It didn't keep Mortal Spin or Mudshot. I even looked in the showdown, it did not keep Mudshot, so that sucks for it. Rosary just kind of sucks now, unfortunately. They gave Rampardos. They gave the Mon with like 165 attack Meteor Beam. Okay, sure. Steel Roller, Bastiodon. Lopunny is one of the big ones. I lost a lot of tools in Champions, but in Nat decks, it's gonna get Swords Dance. Is gonna get Mach Punch. Very good, very very good. And Trailblaze isn't that bad for it either, to be honest. I could see Lopunny wanting to run Trailblaze at some point. There will be a matchup for it. Maybe against like a Water Ground type specifically is coverage. Abomasnow got Ice Hammer. That's going to be pretty good for like Mega Abomasnow, I suppose. They gave Gliscor Pin Missile and Power Whip. Okay, so they gave it more tools to hit other ground types. That's pretty nice. I don't think that'll change its tiering at all. I don't think you're ever gonna fit Power Whip on a Gliscor, but you could. It might end up working for Gliscor at some point. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Froslass kept Nasty Plot. We were expecting that. Emboar got Scorching Sand Solar Blade. That's pretty cool, I suppose. Liepard lost its sprite. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it lost its sprites. Samurott round 2E got Superpower. It already had Sacred Sword though, and you never. There's no scenario where you want to run Superpower over Sacred Sword because Sacred Sword ignores defense boosts. So yeah, you're never gonna want to use Superpower on Samurott round 2E. Watchog got Trailblaze and Double Edge. That's pretty cool. I thought I already had Double Edge. I already showcased Watchog in my video. I actually didn't see that I got Trailblaze. I probably would have run Trailblaze if I saw that I got it. Liepard kept its stuff from ZA for the most part. The Elemental Fangs as well as Psychic Fangs. Crunch, Trailblaze. Still not gonna be good. It still sucks ass. It did not keep First Impression or Parting Shot, so like the tools that it wanted to keep from ZA, it did not keep, which really sucks. The Semi-Sage got Belch, Fake Out, Endure, Grassy Glide, Solar Blade, Stuffed Cheeks, and Trailblaze. not bad. I think if they really wanted to put like, in my opinion, they should have put U-turn on these guys. The Simmies. Simisear got Blaze Kick, Burning Jealousy, Endure Fake Out, Scorching Sand, Stuffed Cheeks, Temper Flare. Did it? I think Simisear already had Belch because yeah, it already had Belch. I didn't realize that it was the only one that had Belch. They all got Stuffed Cheeks though. That's interesting. Oh, you know what though? Gluttony Stuffed Cheeks. Must hold berry to use. User eats berry +2 defense. That doesn't seem too bad. I mean, now you don't have to run Gluttony, you can run Blaze, because why would you run Gluttony plus Blaze? What does Greedent do? Doesn't Greedent have Gluttony? Oh no, it's Chic Pouch that I'm thinking of. That's interesting, though. They gave Simi-Poor Flip Turns, Liquidation, Stuffed Cheeks, Belch. So they gave Simi-Poor the pivot move, but I think they should have just given them all U-turn. Drill kept Megahorn. Autono didn't get anything. The move pool deletions don't matter at all. Crook got Iron Head and Fissure. Kofag got Giga Drain, Self-Destruct. That's kind of whatever. I guess having coverage on Kofag is decent because it really doesn't have coverage. Garbo got P-Jab and Ancient Power. I thought I already had P-Jab. I guess it always ran Gunk Shot though. I think you're still gonna run Gunk Shot on it because Garbodor just doesn't have the stats. Vinilk's got Ice Spinner, that's like whatever. Golurk got Headlong Rush and Iron Head. So yeah, being able to hit things harder and without being destroyed by like Grassy Train is very cool. Should have had the Headlong Rush this whole time in my opinion, but we got it now. Chestnut got Growth and Steel Roller, that's pretty cool. Gren got Flip Turn and Skitter Smack. Sure. Diggersby, I think Trailblaze Diggersby is like legit. Because Ground Normal is just good coverage, but now being faster than a lot of things is going to be good for it. For some reason, it's one of the mons that lost Knockoff. I don't know why they would remove Knockoff from its move pool. Talonflame got Blaze Kick, Sky Attack, Whirlwind. So that's like whatever. Talonflame's one of those mons where like it has to run Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, or it does nothing. Float Eternal got Alluring Voice, Baton Pass. Ooh, Pivot Move is good for it. Draining Kiss, Light Screen, Pollen Puff, Skill Swap, Stored Power, Trailblaze Trick. All very good moves for it to get. Mega Float is going to be pretty good. Cool. Floor just got Grassy Glide. Pangoro got Common Pants. Cool. Headlong Rush is probably is the bigger deal. So now it just has like stronger coverage moves. That's cool. Furfru got a bunch of moves that doesn't really care about. Double Edge, I guess, is like the best thing for it because before it was running Return, so I guess Double Edge is doing something for it, but Furfru is just not a good Pokemon. Meowstic male got Wish, which I think female already had, so I guess male getting it makes sense. Prankster Wish isn't bad though. Like its HP isn't good, but Prankster Wish before you die is like decent maybe. But they lost Moonblast and Earth Power, so they didn't keep it in from ZA unfortunately. Meowstic is that's one of the biggest downgrades from ZA, I think. There's definitely a couple other mons that I could have mentioned that they didn't keep moves from specific from ZA specifically, but I think Meowstic is the big one. AG got Poltergeist and Headbutt. Aegislash was like one of the first mons I saw in Champions. I think I recruited it, and I was like, holy shit, it got Poltergeist, which is really good for it. Poltergeist is actually better than Shadow Claw with crit. So now you just have a stronger move that's a bit... Well, it's not consistent, but it's a lot stronger, and I think Sword Stance set got a lot better. I believe, yeah, it didn't keep Autotomize because Autotomize is a cut move for whatever reason. It also lost Magnet Rise. It doesn't really matter though because Nat Dex, so you can still run Autotomize AG if you want. Aromatisse got Alluring Voice, Hypnosis. I think that makes sense. Heliolisk got Morning Sun, Shedskin, Trailblaze. I think for Heliolisk specifically, like, those buffs don't matter for it. Shedtail will always be banned in draft, probably. Morning Sun doesn't really work on a Mon with the frailty it has. Trailblaze is just, like, you're not gonna fit Trailblaze on its set. Or even, like, live a turn to, like, use it. Aurora's got Ice Spinner, sure. Halucha got Air Slash. Goodra got Giga Drain, that's kind of cool. Goodra Sui got Ancient Power. Klefki Future Sight. Gourgeist Hypnosis Self-Destruct. Ancient Power, doesn't matter. Crabominable kept Mach Punch from ZA, so that's pretty good. Didn't keep First Impression, but I think Mach Punch is pretty legit, to be honest. Especially among... Oh, like Iron Fist boosted Mach Punch is gonna be pretty good. For Mega Crab. Does it get Swords Dance? It does not get Swords Dance, it gets Bulk Up. You can run like Bulk Up Mach Punch now. That's like fine. I mean, at that point I'd rather have Technician, but you can't have everything you want, I suppose. Mimikyu got Night Slash. One thing to note about Serena is that Trop Kick got buffed in Champions, but I don't know if that's going to apply to Gen 9 Draft Nat Dex. Like, I think the mechanics are staying the same, at least until Gen 10. So, unless, I mean, there is a Champions Draft format, but I'm not sure how people feel about that just yet. Drampa got Body Slam, Earth Power, Tri-Attack, Whirlwind. That's pretty cool, but it's like, whatever. Earth Power is good coverage, but it already had like Fire Blast and like Flamethrower, and it has good coverage elsewhere. But I guess Earth Power, like, having more coverage is always better. Feather Dance Core is like whatever. The Apples, I know that their moves got buffed from like 80 to 90 base power, so that's pretty cool. And they gave Flapple Superpower back, which is nice. Mr. Rhyme got Frost Breath, Haze, Ice Spinner, Sheer Cold, Swagger. None of that really matters for it. Haze, maybe Haze. Runerigus didn't keep Knockoff, it didn't keep Parting Shot. That sucks, because I was really enjoying Runerigus in the ZA tour that we did, but now it just doesn't matter, because none of the shit that it had, that it kept, it really should have kept something like Parting Shot, in my opinion. Almost done. Cleaver got Ancient Power, that doesn't matter. Skeleturge got Burn Up, so I guess if you want to run like Terra Fire, Burn Up Skeleturge, sure. Dynamic Punch doesn't do much. Burn Up Armarouge is pretty cool, because I just got done using Terra Armarouge, and I would have loved using Terra Fire Burn Up over like Armor Cannon, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Scovillain got Flare Blitz. I don't think it has Power Whip though. So that's whatever. Woodhammer on Tinkaton's pretty cool. And that's it. So there you guys have it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything. SDS will be starting back up on the 1st of May. And if you want to sign up, please join my server. I don't think I can leave a comment. I don't think I can leave a link in my description. But, comment on my video, I guess, if you have, like, questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.